Hello and welcome to Your Local Note. Appreciate you joining us again. Featured Vidcast. We've got Amelia Scalies, and we're going to be talking to her about her music, her album, and all sorts of good stuff. We're going to be getting to Amelia in just a short time here, but first I want to remind you that we are streaming 24/7. Free apps. Just go to the respective stores and type in YLN. If you want to find out where your favorite band is playing, go to our concert calendar. And of course, we have also a weekly newsletter that Mike puts together. If you want that, just go send us an email at contact@yourlocalnote.com. All that and more just at the yourlocalnote.com. Nothing but Philadelphia area musicians and music. Okay, in just a few minutes, we've got Amelia Scalies joining us, but let's get to our first song that we're going to feature. It's called I Should Have Known, and it's the title track of her album on yourlocalnote.com.
Was you? Don't you say that you're sorry, 'cause baby, we both know you're not. And don't tell me it's the first time. What did you think I forgot? How you were gone when I needed you, how you always blown your shot. How you were weak time and time again, 'cause you never made your stand. And then you come to me crawling on your knees, 'cause they left you with empty hands. I should've known that it would end this way, with me crying and you screaming at me. Know that it would
song is called I Should Have Known. Amelia Scalies is with us here at yourlocalnote.com. Amelia, thank you so much for joining us.
Yay.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about how you got involved in music first, and then we'll talk about the song I Should Have Known. When did you start writing? When did you start playing and singing? Give us a little history.
Well, I started writing basically since the time I could like pick up a pen. I was just like, oh, I want to write a story, and it was like a story about the ham in the supermarket that didn't get picked.
Okay.
Or something.
And how bad the ham felt?
Yeah, how bad the ham felt. And it was like stupid stories. And I think I was writing songs since I was in like preschool, and obviously they were dumb songs, like my mom made me throw a cotton ball away. And I was upset.
Okay.
But now they're like, it meant a lot to me. Like, I don't know why, but losing that cotton ball meant a lot to me, so I would write a song about it. And then just got to this point where anything that really happened that was notable in my life, I wanted to write a song about it.
Okay, and you would write it down. But you would write the words down, the lyrics down, but there was no melody to that, or were you humming melodies in your head as you were putting these words down on paper?
Yeah, I would think in my head, or sometimes I would just sing under my breath. And I remember my friends would be like, what are you singing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just singing.
Okay, when did you start playing a musical instrument?
Well, I started playing the violin in 3rd grade, and that was like at school lessons and stuff. But I only started playing the guitar in 7th grade, and basically most of it I taught myself. I took lessons, but wasn't really a good fit for me. So I just used YouTube and stuff.
So right now you're basically just teaching yourself how to play a guitar and also continue writing music.
Pretty much.
Everything is by ear.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay, let's talk about the song I Should Have Known. It's the title track of your album that came out July of 2013. What is this song about?
Well, I get bullied a lot, and I've changed schools a bunch of times. And I wrote that song actually when I was on the bus, and this girl apparently there was some party that I was invited to.
Right.
And everyone but me was invited to sleep over. And when the second I left, they were all like, "Oh, I'm Amelia. I'm so cool. Yay, I caused drama." And like someone told me about it or whatever.
Right.
And I was just like, really? And I'd had problems with this one girl before doing stuff like that. So I was like, I tried to talk to her in school, but she pretended nothing was wrong. And of course, the second I got on the bus and we were face to face, she started texting me. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Of course."
Yes.
So I was just like, whatever. And then I wrote that song.
Okay. So basically you should have known what to expect from them is what the song is about.
Pretty much.
Okay, very cool. Then when you were writing that song, the words came first and then the music came after that, or?
No, I just like start singing. Like,
okay.
I just start singing and then words come out and I'm like, good words, yay, and then I write them down.
And then you follow up with the music.
Yeah, it sounds so stupid when I explain it, but it
works.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you're trying to figure out if you're singing it, there's obviously some sort of melody or rhythm to the words. So that all depends on the mood, I would think. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know. I just go for it. And some of the time, like, since I started trying to put the chords, originally I would just be like, oh, I hope I can find chords that go with the melodies I wrote, because I'd written them before I could play guitar. But now I'm like, sometimes I'll write the songs or with like chords in mind, or sometimes I'll be playing chords and I'll just be like, I'll start singing. And it actually gets harder too, because you're trying to find a song, you're like, oh, it has to be like this, and then you're overanalyzing it, and you're like, oh, what should I do? And then you're just like, okay, calm down. It really doesn't need to be that hard.
A lot of discussions with yourself.
Yeah, I talk to myself
Okay.
a lot.
When you're writing a song, like, for example, the first song, I Should Have Known, obviously a life experience, but you do like to tell stories. So do you alternate between, writing from experience and then saying, I got this idea, I'm going to just make this song up and go from there? Or is it always has to be life experience?
Well, a lot of it, I like telling stories. So a lot of it, I'm 15, so you can't get that many life experiences, especially since half of your life was potty training and having teachers yell at you for eating glue in school, like
Okay.
that, you're not going to write a song about that.
That was
No
more
one-
than half my life. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No one's going to care. So you kind of have to make up stories if you're like, oh, I want to actually like make good songs. So you can't just be like, you can't write 70 songs about like my friends stink. That's what like the stupid pop people do.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to name names.
I think I knew where you were going with that one. I get that. All right, so you like to tell stories, so obviously you have a good imagination. But though sometimes do you see something in life and you see one thing and then you expand it?
Yeah. Well, that actually happened with one of the songs on the CD. Which
Okay.
is, What I Should Have Said. I was following this girl this girl's parents on Facebook, and she was really little and she had brain cancer, and I was really, really upset, and I wanted her to get better, but didn't really end well. She passed, and my mom told me about it, and I was very upset. And so I remember like 2 months later, I was riding around in the car with my dad, and we were putting out signs for some type of festival like my town was having, and I just started humming in the back seat, just singing, and I got home, and then I'm like, I'm going to keep writing the song. And it started out just this simple little cute song, you know, like being a little kid and stuff. And then it turned into like more about this girl, like not directly about her, because it can be taken a bunch of
But
different ways.
the story influenced what you wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just expanded off of it.
Okay, very cool. Speaking of influences, I mean, obviously you're still listening to music and developing not only your musical taste, your musical style and things like that. What do you listen to, or what did you start listening to when you were a kid? Were you influenced by the music that your parents played?
Oh, well, my dad is really into music, and he's big believer on all genres of music have their own pros and cons.
Right.
So it's not we don't when people come or people around me will be like, oh, I don't like rap music or I don't like pop music. I'll just be like, well, that's ignorant because there's good parts of every type of music. You just have to listen for it. And you can't judge one genre of music based on one singer you don't like. And so I listen to all kinds of genres, but I mean, mostly because of getting bullied and being an outcast, I tend to stick more towards alternative music now because I just feel like that's a place, like, you don't have to label it. That's just a place where everyone who doesn't really have any other place kind of goes, and I like that about it.
So at what point when you made that decision, or maybe that it happened naturally to do alternative music, how did you know that you wanted to start a career in that?
Well, actually, I kind of made that decision like halfway through making the CD. So you can tell when you listen to it that there are like, when I was in 6th grade, I was obsessed with Taylor Swift because I didn't really fit in, and I wrote songs about not fitting in, and that's kind of what Taylor Swift did. So I wanted to be like, oh, there's someone who's just like me. I wanted someone else to be like me. I wanted to follow in someone's footsteps. And then as I got older, I mean, I'd written songs that are like, oh, this is sort of Taylor Swiftish, like some of the tracks like Macy Brown or Rose Blossom. I'm not saying I don't like them, because they're good songs and I appreciate them. But as I got older, I was just like, I don't need to follow in anyone else's footsteps. I'm not here to be someone else. I'm here to just be me. So, like, we were halfway through the CD, and I was like, you know what? We should do some rock songs. And everyone was just like, seriously? And I was like, whatever.
All right, and I want to talk about the recording process of this debut album you have. But before we do that, let's go to the second song, which is actually the first track off the album, called Bottom of the Ocean. What can you tell us about that song? What is it about?
Okay, I'm getting really repetitive, but that's kind of also about being ignored in school and being bullied. And like, when you there was a point in time at different schools, a lot of different schools, where I'd be like, hi guys, what's up? And they just pretend I wasn't there. And I was just like, really? Seriously? I don't get that, the pretending you're not there thing. Like, I'd rather you be like, go away, than just ignoring me. So the first line of that song, and it's the first track on the CD, is Am I Invisible? And I thought I like fought tooth and nail with like everyone who wanted to put a different track at the beginning of the CD. I'm like, that's how it needs to start. It just needs to be like, because it's silent and it's out of nowhere. It's just like, am I invisible? And I just thought that was important.
All right, excellent. We are talking with Amelia Scalies, and it's her debut album that you're hearing songs from. The album's called I Should Have Known, came out last July, and this song is the first track on it. It's called Bottom of the Ocean, and you're listening to YourLocalNote.com.
Am I invisible? When you look to
That is Bottom of the Ocean. She is Amelia Scalies, and this is yourlocalnote.com. This debut album, you finished it last July. Take us through the recording process. When did you first get into the studio for these songs?
I think it was... See, when you're in school, you don't think of it as like, 2014, 2013. You think of it as 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. So I'm trying to figure out what year it was. It was the summer after 7th grade, if that means anything to you. So wait, that was 2012? Yeah, that was the summer of 2012.
Nice.
See, Dad thinks in years,
Yeah,
so it's
Dad
good to have
thinks in
Dad
years.
in the corner there giving you the
Yeah.
thumbs up and
Yeah.
thumbs down.
So it was the summer of 2012, and since I was in school, not in summer, but we didn't know what we were doing, so we were just like, we're gonna record a couple tracks, and the guys in the studio were like, this is pretty good, do you have any more songs? And I was like, yes, and my dad was like, put money, and we were like,
Yes, but money.
yeah, and we ended up doing them, and so adding on to that, we just decided that we were going to record more. So by the time we made that decision, it was basically the school year already. So I couldn't go every day, and I couldn't go weeknights because I had school, and I couldn't really go Sunday nights. So that left like Friday nights and Saturdays.
Okay.
So it took way longer, but we finished it. Yay! Finally,
So-
after like a year.
Where did you record this album?
And Tribe Sound Records in Westchester. It's under Taylor's Music Store, and it's run by this awesome guy named Chris Cotter. He's really cool.
How did you meet up with these people and decided to go with them?
I was actually at like a party because I was in this musical. I was like a tablecloth, playing like a tablecloth or something.
Okay.
And I came out of the parking lot, and my dad was like, "Hey, look at this!" And he's just like, "There's a recording studio in Westchester," because I guess he was a ghoulie. And I was like, "Cool." And then my dad's like, "Hey, we're going to the studio," and I was like, "The one in Westchester?" And he was like, "Yeah, we'll just try it." And then I met this guy, and he was actually I came downstairs into the basement of the studio, and I went into the like recording area, and we couldn't find him. We were looking around, and then he like was under the desk fixing something. So he just popped out from under the desk, and he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "I like this guy." It's weird.
So it was
Great first impression.
a gut feel, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you go into the recording studio, you said you only wanted to record a couple songs, but they asked for more. How many songs are we talking here that you have at your fingertips ready to go?
Oh, with like, well, you mean now? Songs that I have now?
Sure. Then, now?
Well, when we were first going in, we were like, we'll record 3 songs. And I think it was Macy Brown, What I Should Have Said, and I Should Have Known. So it was just those 3 songs. And then now I don't know, there's a lot of songs, but I mean good ones, there's like 100, 200. There's a lot of songs.
That's a lot of money, Dan.
No, we're waiting.
You write every day.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
write obviously 1 or 2 songs a day?
I feel bad when I don't write, especially if I get writer's block. That's the worst thing ever. I'll just be sitting. I write in school. This is I'm a bad influence. Whenever I tell people that I write songs during school, they're like, "Shouldn't you be studying?" I'm like, "Yes, I really should, but I don't." And I'll be sitting at my desk in school, and I'll just be like, "Oh, I can't do this," and everyone will be like, "What? We're taking notes." And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's what I'm doing." And then I'll just sit there like the entire day, and I'll be like, "I can't figure out what I want to write about, but I want to write about something."
So do you have a friend that you can talk to about that, or is this all yourself, or you talk to your dad since he loves music? Do you try to work out the writer's block that way, or do you have to just do it all on your own?
I basically just do it on my own. Well, it's kind of like the seasons, kind of, in like the desert. Like there's always a dry season, and I still write songs in there, but the songs are they're like meh. They're good, they're not bad, but they're like meh. And then once you get through that, you come up with this new realization about songwriting, and you just come out on the other side of that dry season. You're just like, oh, and then the songs you write after that are just so much better than the ones after the last dry season, which is just...
Does the dry season come up every year at the same time?
No, it just like pops out of nowhere. Like it should give me a schedule, but I'm no.
So it's not like summer, winter,
Yeah.
fall, spring. It just happens. You'll go through a period where it's the desert.
Pretty
The
much.
ideas are not there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden ideas start popping in, and it's summertime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you write these songs first acoustically, and then you brought it to this recording studio, and they helped make it a full band. How did that change happen for you?
Well, I mean, I always liked alternative music, but I just never admitted that to anyone because I wanted to be like Taylor Swift. And you don't see her wearing like Green Day t-shirts and being like, I'm so punk, I do things that are punk. I don't know. Could edit that out. That would be great. But I was like, oh, I'm just kind of like a closet alternative music fan, and I always liked guitars because I think that's part of being a teenager. You have that angst, and you like when you hear someone playing a guitar like it's something that just ran over their baby with a lawnmower, and they're like beating the crap out of it. You just like, yes, that's how I feel. So I always liked that, and so we went to the studio. They're like, well, we could do this acoustic, or wait, don't think I'm crazy, but we could just add like couple electric guitars, and I was like, yes, that, we're doing that. My dad was just like,
So you listened, you followed a lot of their instructions, but you also had a lot of influence yourself because you knew what directions your songs wanted to be, right?
well, I came in basically with it all planned, but I was too shy to be like, I want to do a rock track. So they were just like, they just suggest something, and I'd be like, that's a good idea. But I'd be like, I was going to say that, but I'm too shy. So it would just be, they kind of got me to come out of my shell a little bit by suggesting these things, and they just made it easier for me to be like, I want to do this, and just change things throughout the CD, just make it a bunch of different genres.
Okay, and the songs, who picked out the rest of the songs, or who helped you pick out the rest of the songs?
My dad let that just be up to me, because he doesn't really, he's not one of those micromanager dads who's just like, oh, you're going to practice for 2 hours and then we're going to do this and you can't eat wheat because that's bad for you. I don't know if that's true, so just don't cite me on that. But my dad's just like, whatever songs you want to put on here is fine. Just run them by me first, and if I really don't like one, I'll tell you. But, I mean, we can still record it because it's your CD and I don't want to take anything that's yours away from you.
Do you trust your dad's taste?
Yes, my dad is very cool.
Okay.
And that's not just because he's sitting right there and has to drive me home.
That's good.
Awesome.
All right. Let's go to song number 3. It's called Phoenix. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play the song, and then we're going to talk about it when we get back, okay?
Okay.
All right. The song is called Phoenix. We're hanging with Amelia Scalies on yourlocalnote.com.
Of all of the people I would expect to shatter my heart, you were an egg. You knocked me off my guard, my friend. Your dignity is non-existent. The truth to you is irrelevant as long as you were in on the fight. And now you're gonna try and make it right, but I'm not your ghost anymore. Can't be thrown around by you anymore. You can try and hurt me, but you're never gonna burn me, 'cause I'll stay Phoenix, be born from the ashes again. You tangled me up, all caught in your trap. Then you walked away and didn't look back. How could you be so cold again? Love doesn't live in your frozen heart, but you still took mine and tore it apart.
The song is called Phoenix. We're hanging with Amelia Scalies. Her debut album is called I Should Have Known. And Amelia, let's talk about Phoenix. What is that song about?
That song, I wrote that at the end of the year in 6th grade, so that was 2011, right? Yes, probably. And I was I'd been like the first year I'd kind of dealt with like severe bullying, so I was just like, you know what, this is kind of stupid. Why are we all so mean to each other? And then I'm like, if we just decided not to care, then about people being mean to us, then no one would care about being mean to anyone else, because there's no point if you're not going to get a reaction. So if we all just kind of stopped caring about being mean, then it would be better. But I'm like, it has to start with like one person. So I decided I want to write the song Phoenix because it's about rising from the ashes. Like someone wants to burn you down or hurt you, you just be like, whatever, I'm still here. I don't really care. So that's what that song's basically about.
Okay, very good. So let's talk about the websites and social media that you are part of. What sites do you really like to be part of and get the information out about your music? Do you do a lot of Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot. Yeah, like a lot. Like when I'm not supposed to be on Twitter, I'm on Twitter.
Like when you're writing songs in class.
Yeah.
You're also on Twitter.
I'm a model student. I actually have straight A's. I'm telling you.
Okay, good.
I'm on.
That's why you get away with what you get away with.
Exactly.
That's
It
why I
doesn't
get
matter
away.
how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I
But
think,
but Facebook is not something you're going to stay with,
Well,
are
like-
you? Your generation.
I'm getting the young people stereotype. No, like I have there's actually 2 pages. There's one just Amelia Scalies, which is like more personal.
Right.
But then there's Amelia Scalies singer-songwriter, which is more about like music and the band and stuff.
But your peers are not. They're looking at Facebook and saying, you know what, this is not for us anymore.
Yeah, but I mean,
Once you joined, RJ.
the
Yes.
kids,
Once I joined, it was over.
the kids. I mean, I'm saying this like there are a lot of kids who work and pay for their own CDs and stuff. But I mean, the kids aren't the ones who are going to be like, oh, I'm going to buy that CD for you. If the kids if the parents see a CD that their kids listen to, they're like, I don't like that. They can take it away. But if you actually get to the parents and like talk to the parents and have the parents get to know you and recognize you, then that's better because the parents have the.
How about that? She's thinking ahead of marketing. I mean, that's very impressive. So Twitter works for you. What other social media sites do you use?
I don't even know.
You've got a website.
Yeah, I have a website, and then
What is the website address?
it's just ameliascalies.com. So yeah, it's my name.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of links to actually everything. I have a
on-
YouTube page too.
Okay.
So it's actually most of the stuff on my YouTube page is from like when I was 12. So if you want to see me singing like this tiny little, like even tinier than I am now, it's quite adorable. So you should check out that.
Okay. So all your links to the different sites that you're on are
Yeah.
just go to your website,
And-
Amelia Scalies, and the last name is spelled Scalies.
Yes.
Okay.
And
.com.
there's also I'm on Reverb Nation and I think SoundCloud, right? SoundCloud. Yeah.
Okay.
So since you released this album, what have your live shows been like? Have you been playing with a full band? Have you been playing acoustically, both?
I've been playing acoustically. I actually played like 2 songs with Wave Radio because they're the guys who like did the instruments for my CD, and that was at like Chaplin's, which is this tiny little place in Phoenixville. Right? Phoenixville? Yeah, Phoenixville.
Do you have a favorite show that you've done since your album's come out?
Well, the favorite show I did so far was actually January 12th. It was at World Cafe Live upstairs in Philly, and it was really cool because this girl named Amber Ladd opened for me. And I don't like to think of as she opened for me because she's really good. She does electronic stuff, but she did all acoustic versions, and it was super good. So I thought that was cool because I know her and I talked to her, and then I got to play, and it was really cool because she was just in the audience, and I could see her hanging out with this guy named Dustin from an internet station called Gas House Radio.
We know Dustin.
Yes,
Good
I love
guy.
him.
He's a good guy.
It was just so cool because a lot of my family was there, and then people I didn't know were there. I think my 4th grade lunch lady came to see me.
Nice.
So cool. I was like, I know you.
So what do you have scheduled for the future? What's your next show?
I think February 1st. And, Gable Music Ventures. It's singer-songwriter night at World Cafe Queen, I think. Yeah, the Queen. Yeah.
Okay, and that's upstairs?
Upstairs, yeah.
Nice. All right, and then any show that you have after that, just let us know, and we will include that on our concert calendar.
Yeah, it'll be on my website because we update that a lot.
And are any thoughts of when you're going to start to try to get back into the studio to record more music?
Well,
I got to look at Dad and say, okay, when can we afford to do this?
I don't know. I don't know.
But you have plenty of songs set aside.
Yeah, I do. I was actually asked to do a cover of a Madness song with someone, like just featuring it.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that there's a deadline for that, but we still really haven't.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, keep us up to date on that, and we'll keep everyone else who comes to our site up to date.
All right, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to introduce the audience to your sidekick there.
Okay.
Is there a story behind that? And please
Actually,
share.
It's a Pokemon. And,
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Vaporeon, and it's the water evolution of an Eevee. And I think I don't know, I'm not going to say that because I haven't played that old version in a while. But I was getting my guitar and stuff and leaving the house for this, and I was like, I just grabbed a stuffed animal, and then I was getting out of the car and I didn't want to put it down, so I brought it in here, and then we started, and I didn't want to put it down, so I brought it in here.
Do you ever put a stuffed animal on stage when you play?
No, I'm going to start doing that, though.
Yeah, we had a band that brings a cactus on stage.
Yes, yeah, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, they put up a cactus on stage, and then that's their mascot. So
I'm just going to do like a Lady Gaga dress where it's just covered in stuffed animals. That way I don't have to carry them.
All right, very cool. All right, so the last song we're going to do is a live version. You're going to do a live version of More Than Words. So why don't we get set up now, and we'll get her to play, and we'll go from there. Before we get you playing, let's talk about More Than Words. What is More Than Words about?
Basically, like every song on my CD is about bullying. So, if you were bullied, you should buy it. And if you weren't, you should buy it anyway because raising awareness.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to take it like that. It can go for anything, like a relationship that didn't go well. I mean, I'm not going to write about that. I'm 15, so I don't really know that much about that.
And did I see, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you. That it's been getting a lot of traction around a bunch of different radio stations, and there was you're on the top 40 AC charts for this song.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do this one live because I really like it, and I'm really happy that other people are liking it too. So I want more people to keep liking it.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on that, and thanks again for coming in here.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll get set up now, and let me just remind people before we sign off that you can download our free mobile apps. Just search YLN at their stores, and you can listen to music from the Philadelphia area 24/7 from wherever you are. And again, check the concert calendar. Amelia's next show is up there, as long as many, many other ones. So check that out and keep up to date with our news section as well. We have Amelia Scalies in studio performing More Than Words from her debut album called I Should Have Known here on yourlocalnote.com.
Bag one more time and make sure that it does. Say, baby, don't apologize, cause you'll fade into my past. And the scars you made on my heart will always cause me pain, cause baby, never finish what you start. Cause in the end, to you, it's just a game. I thought I knew you, babe. I guess I was wrong. Have fun with the mess you made, cause this time I'm really gone. And it'll take more than words to fix this. Sorry, sucking that it hurts, I promise. I'll be standing here cursing your name, screaming at nobody. And it'll take more than words to throw me. Tell me that you're sorry, go and show me. Take back what you did to me, what you did to me. It's unforgivable, more than words. Don't you know you're so cliche when you play devil's advocate? And I try to trust you anyway, But baby, you're just hopeless, and now you're just another empty frame. Cause I threw your picture out, I let it sink deep into the flames, watched our past burn to the ground. I thought I knew you, babe, now I know I was wrong. Just look at the mess you made, cause this time I swear I'm gone. And it'll take more than words to fix this. Are you saying that it hurts? I promise I'll be seeing you cursing your name, screaming at nobody. And it'll take more than words to promise. And just so sorry, all that you show me. Take out what you did to me, what you did to me, was unforgivable, more than words. In the back one more time. Come on, don't apologize. Come on, don't you know you're so cliche? And I try to trust you anyway, but it'll take more than words to fix this. Are you second